Kaipacho with the weekly Pele report on the Caribbean. It's a little wild. A little wild. It's been raining. We got the high tide going on here. We got, and really, La Luna Nueva. She must sense that powerful new moon happening conjunct Pluto over there in Capricorn. I mean, woo, baby. That was just a few hours ago. And at the same time, you know, we still got Mercury square Uranus, Mars exactly square Saturn today. Get mad, get angry, don't suppress it, let it out, get a punching bag. Uranus is stationary, gonna be going direct tomorrow. Yeah, and tomorrow is another big day, Sun conjunct Pluto. Sun conjunct Pluto. Here we got a little stream coming down here. Nice. All the waters return to the mama. We all go home at last. It's a wild ride these days. Tomorrow also, Venus is in trine to Uranus. Capricorn over to Taurus. We got a nice Earth trine, thank God, right? By Friday, the moon goes into Pisces. So, you know, what she does is she does a new, you know, the new moon is in Capricorn. And then, shortly after that, she heads on into Aquarius. She's in Aquarius Thursday and Friday. Friday, she goes into Pisces. Until, you know, by Saturday, oh my God, I'm gonna get soaking wet. Oh my God, there goes my camera. Nothing is sacred. Oh God. Anyway, what else goes on? You know, by Tuesday, Sun goes into Aquarius. Yeah? And, you know, Mars is conjunct Uranus. Jupiter is exactly square Uranus on Sunday, but we know that's a long time kind of a transit, Jupiter square Uranus. So we got a lot of different aspects going on now. And I don't know where I'm going to sit down to talk about this, but, you know, I'll find something, somebody, somewhere. Because it's a little loud. I hope that, I hope you could hear all of these aspects. Because these are the big, big days. Okay, well, I'm fooling around here long enough. It's impossible to get the lighting, as you can see. Like, if I am in the light, you can't see the water. And if I'm a silhouette, you can't see me. So, I got my Rastafarian vibrations happening here. It's the freaking Caribbean, baby. Oh, man. Unity and diversity. What are we talking about here? Let's see. This is a big time. This is a big week. Next week is also really big. I mean, the astrologers and the astrology have known it for a long time coming. Okay, I talked about this last summer when Mars went retrograde in Aries, and we said, oh yeah, it's going to be in Aries for 6 months, and then when it goes into Taurus, it's going to hit Uranus, square Jupiter and Saturn, and, you know, it's going to build up, build up, build up, build up, and boom, explode. And that's exactly what is happening. Let's look at the Jupiter square Uranus, because this is a big transit. Okay, Jupiter goes around every 12 years. Maybe you can look back in your own biography. The Jupiter-Uranus conjunction happened in June of 2010 at 0 degrees of Aries. They both went retrograde into Pisces, conjuncted again, okay, in late Pisces in September. And finally, okay, in Pisces again in January of 2011. It was when Chernobyl, do you remember back when Chernobyl blew? It's when I started the Pele Report. I was in Hawaii, And I remember the frickin' radioactive water was going to come down and, you know, hit the islands, you know, from Japan. But that was the beginning. And let's look at Jupiter, Uranus. Uranus is the unknown, the personal unconscious, our individuation, rebellion, revolution, stepping outside the conventional, the normal, the usual, to get a bigger, higher, wider, broader view of things. Technology, extraterrestrial intelligence, you know, spacecrafts. Okay, it's like step outside yourself. You know, when it comes to consciousness, it's your third eye. Step into your witness, your observer. Observe yourself, observe your life. So this is Aquarius. Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, and it's now moving through Taurus. Taurus is about physical, earthly survival. New ways. We need to step out of the old paradigm into new ways of dealing with our environment, new ways of surviving, new ways of working with our resources, whether it is plants, animals, oil, currency, whatever, you know, we need to physically survive. So this is this Uranus, you know, energy that wants to always go into the unknown and discover. You combine that with Jupiter. Woo! Yeah? Super freaking powerful combination. Jupiter is also about the quest, the expansion of consciousness. So these are both, you know, they're rather harmonious, okay? Sag, you know, is in sextile to Aquarius, and you know, Jupiter and Uranus, I call it the thank God aspect. That's when I started the Pele report. 2010 was awesome. And it set this seed of expansion into the unknown, starting a whole new cycle. That's like what? You know, it's probably 24 years or so. We have a Jupiter, Uranus. Yeah, no, not 24. 10 to 4, you know, about 14 years. 14, 15 years. Yeah? So the third quarter square. The seed was sown in 2010, and it's expanded, opened, you know, gone into socialization, and now it's coming back. And that third quarter square is always about a crisis of what we sent out and put out comes back to either nourish us and feed us or correct us and straighten us out. Depends on what we put out. and the first quarter square that we put out, that was 2014. So what I'm seeing is, okay, this is like, you know, pushing in the new paradigm. And what is exactly the new paradigm? I've talked about this before. It is the end of the patriarchy. And what is the patriarchy? Okay, I've defined the patriarchy in a talk I gave a little while ago, but I'll go into it some more. Male dominated, it's about conquering nature, it's about separation and power over, whether it's women or resources or Gaia or whatever. It's about, you know, self-oriented power struggles that separates myself from nature and from other people to give me more. This is that patriarchal, masculine pyramid structure where I want to build and climb my way to the top and have everybody and everything support me. And this is a 6,500 year cycle coming to a close of patriarchy. Do you think it's going to happen in 6 months, a year, 5 years? No. We're at the very beginning of this. You know, we're just kind of inching our way out of this mentality. And so, you know, I mean, I saw it right away. I mean, you know, Trump is the perfect patriarch. Okay, you know, he's a millionaire. He's all about money. He doesn't care about the environment. black lives and women and minorities and everything. It's all about self. Yeah, he's a Leo rising, Mars on the ascendant. Okay, he's a warrior for self. I, me, mine. He doesn't care about anything but himself, money, and power. These are the main things, and that brought him, into a position of power. Okay, very ambitious, driven character. He's got the Sun conjunct Uranus. So he is a rebel. The challenge is that he's got Mercury square Neptune, which is that he's deluded. Yeah, so we have a deluded rebel on our hands. But he's not alone, and I don't want to just focus on this whole United States thing. We've got Bolsonaro down in Brazil. We've got Putin over in Russia. We've got Xi Jinping over in China. We've got patriarchs that have risen like all over planet Earth right now, to show us it's like their last dying gasp. And I want to point to it, because really, what does the Republicans and the Democrats have in common? They're all about the vaccine. They're all about dominating, and separating ourselves from the virome. Yeah? I'm going to put a link down here to Zach Bush. He's my new favorite guy. Okay, he's a doctor, and he is amazing. And he's pointing out that we have 10 to the 13. 10 to the 13, that's 10 with 13 zeros after it. That's how many viruses are floating around, folks. That's just in the air, okay? And if we look back, I also want to look and bring in Rudolf Steiner. I want to bring in Dr. Tom Cowan. I want to bring in these other people that are really looking at this whole COVID thing in a whole nother way, connecting it with 5G, connecting it with the electric field, connecting it with changes in our DNA. Basically, we have changes. We evolve through viruses. It's a genetic upgrade. Like it or not, it can be a painful one, okay? But every time we change the magnetic field of planet Earth, the first big virus came around, okay, with the introduction of electricity. The next big virus came around with the introduction of radar. Now we have another big virus coming around with the introduction of 5G. There's a connection here. And I talked about overpopulation. I talked about us invading the jungles, creating stress, pressure, and tension on all the other living creatures on planet Earth. So here's the story, though. The story is that we breathe and we take in, okay, and there are ways of working with the viruses, and they bring us genetic information that we need to continue to survive in the new environment. So we need to boost our immune systems. We need to alter our DNA as a species to maintain this. So to block out the virus, this is not a success story, okay? Separating, this is the patriarchy, this is big pharma, okay? Whether it's Trump or the Democrats, okay? Trump is warp speed. Get those vaccines out as fast as we can. The Democrats are, we got to vaccine everybody. It's not Republican or Democrat, okay? It's patriarchy. That we are somehow separate, above, outside nature, and we are going to control, dominate, or, conquer Mother Nature. The future, Aquarius, okay, is that we are awakened, we are liberated, we are one with nature, we live with these viruses. These viruses are bringing us information, and yes, it may be a culling, a human culling. I'm very sorry, but there may be great amounts of loss. I remember when we had our kids, we were in the Waldorf schools, and when one of the kids got the measles or the chicken pox or something, we would have parties Bring all the kids over there and get them. And it's like, you know what? Build that immune system and take in. And it's like to really deal with, and this is the other thing, there's all kinds of remedies, whether it's hydrochloroquine or, you know, whether it's remdesivir, whether it's zinc, vitamin C, vitamin D. There's another one here that they're using in Costa Rica. There's all kinds of cures for this. And like Zach Bush is saying, you deal with somebody when they show symptoms of illness. Okay, if someone gets sick, you deal with that sickness, and they go, and their body goes through, their psyche goes through, their spirit goes through. Okay, they're getting upgraded or they're getting genetically modified by the virus, not a vaccine. It's a natural, upgrade. Okay, and you deal with that, and you work with the person who is ill. You do not try, to go out and spread, to all of those who are showing no symptoms. Okay, are not, not needing. Okay, in some way, shape, and form. It's like spirit is picking out each and every person. Each and every person has a unique soul destiny, whether it's dealing with this particular boyfriend or girlfriend or mother or virus or boss or, color skin, or we all incarnate and deal with a variety of evolutionary challenges. It's when we don't want to, and we avoid or we deny or we don't want to evolve, we don't want to change, we don't want to grow, that we get into trouble. So here we have a Sun, Moon conjunct Pluto. Pluto is the force of evolution. That force of evolution, either we cooperate with the force of evolution and we evolve, or we resist. We dam the river of evolution. And when we dam the river of evolution, the river builds up, it builds up, it builds up. And that's what it's been doing since the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction 11 years ago, right? 10 years ago, boom, now we're in this third quarter square, and the dam is breaking. The dam is breaking, and that's what this time period is all about. And Pluto is the force of removal. Removal of that which is in the way of the evolution. That's what our mantra is about today. Our mantra today is, right? What? When I refuse to change and grow, the pressure and tension increase. If I continue to cling to the past, it will hurt when life takes it from me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah? This is when we resist evolution. That is the source of all pain. The source of all pain is resisting evolutionary growth and clinging to the past, clinging to a person, clinging to money, clinging to youth, clinging to whatever you want to cling to, okay, because you are not moving on. We're all graduating. That's the other thing this Jupiter-Saturn, conjunction is about. Saturn is graduation. Grow up. Move on. Step out. We're done with 2020. We're done with the Jupiter-Saturn-Pluto. And now, this is kind of the leftovers, okay? It's just like, you know what? Those guys that are holding on, I'm not going to lose my position or my fame or my office or my money or my da-da-da-da-da-da-da, I'm not going to lose. Well, yes, you are. If your unconscious soul intention has learned everything it needs to learn or has grown in every way that it can grow in that situation. You need to move on. Life will push you on. Life will remove whatever is in the way of our soul evolution. and it hurts. We deal with loss, grief, and all the 5 stages of grief, but we move on as evolved beings. So this is a time not only of pain, of loss, of explosive craziness, but it is also a tremendous growth opportunity. I'll tell you what, 6 months from now, we're going to be looking back, a year from now, we're going to be looking back and go, yeah, wow, did we ever learn some big lessons about where we are, about who we are, about what we want, about where we want to go? This is a great time to be sowing seeds and planning the future, which requires letting go of the past. I always think of jumping rocks across the river, You got to pick up that back foot, even if you're walking. In order to go forward, you got to pick that back foot up and let go of where you were standing. Yeah, baby, you know what I'm saying? So it's the big flush, man. It's the big let go. And let's keep our eyes, Jupiter square Uranus says, the future is full of expansion, is full of opportunity, is full of innovation and invention. This can be a really powerful Uranus going direct. Everything is direct here for a little while, okay? And it's just like, psh, lay those plans, draw them up, get set. The rocket's on the launching pad, baby. When I refuse to change and grow, the pressure and tension increase. If I continue to cling to the past, it will hurt when life takes it from me. So don't let it hurt. Let go. Ow! Namaste. Aloha. So much love.